Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to Flared Insights, where we talk about dating and attraction science. No bro advice, no vague motivational takes, just peer-reviewed research, real data, and honest conclusions. We have intro music now. We're moving up in the world. Today's episode is about something that is actively happening to you right now if you're on a dating app, and you almost certainly don't know about it. It's not your height, it's not your jawline, it's not even your bio. It's a score, a hidden score the app assigns you, and it's already running. Let's talk about it. So here is what nobody in the marketing department is going to put in the app description. Dating apps are not showing your profile to everyone, not even close. They're running a ranking system behind the scenes, a desirability score, and that score decides who sees you, how often, and in what context. Early Tinder literally borrowed the ELO rating system from chess. The same math that ranks grandmasters was deciding your Saturday night plans. The apps have gotten fancier since then, but the underlying logic is the same. Your profile gets rated by the market, and that rating controls your visibility. What goes into the rating? Everything. How many people swipe right on you, how long they actually look at your profile before deciding, not just a tap, but actual lingering time, whether people who matched with you actually message you or just collect the match and disappear, how selective you are with your own swipes, how quickly you respond. It all feeds a number. Now here's where it gets real. A 2025 study, peer-reviewed network analysis over 10,000 active users found that the desirability structure on dating apps is, quote, considerably hierarchical. A small number of users were capturing a wildly disproportionate share of all swipes, and a large chunk of users, a lot of people, were getting almost nothing. Winner takes most, like basically every social platform. And the structurally unfair part, women sit higher in this hierarchy than men by default, not necessarily because of looks, but because there are way more men than women on most platforms. More competition for fewer people means women accumulate scores faster. Most men are competing hard in a crowded bracket. But here is the thing that genuinely screws people over, and I never hear anyone talk about it. A bad start compounds. If your profile gets weak engagement in its first few days, quick passes, low swipe rate, no message activity, the algorithm reads that as signal. It decides your profile isn't worth showing to as many people, so it shows you to fewer, which means fewer swipes, which lowers your score, which reduces visibility further, which means, you see where this goes. It's a spiral. Once you're in it, it's hard to get out.
The research puts it plainly. Users at the bottom of the hierarchy may find very little or even no matches. The system is not built to give you a second chance. It routes attention to where engagement already exists. Low engagement bucket in week 1, and you're stuck. So what do most guys do when they're not getting matches? They start reaching up. Every major study on online dating shows the same pattern. Men consistently contact women who are more desirable than themselves. Not by a tiny margin, substantially more desirable. A 2025 analysis confirmed it directly. Men pursued women who were significantly more desirable than themselves, while women didn't show the same upward reach on average. And look, swiping costs nothing, so why not shoot your shot, right? But the problem is that the women at the top of the hierarchy are receiving attention from across the entire spectrum. They are not short on options. So the vast majority of those aspirational swipes just evaporate. No match, no reply, nothing. Here is the twist I actually find fascinating, and this is the part that will make you go, oh. Despite all the reaching, the matches that actually happen are predictable. They cluster around similarity. The same 2025 study found that actual matches, reciprocated interest, real mutual attraction were substantially more similar in desirability than the initial swipes. Guys pursue up, but they match across. A 2019 study looked at 421 million potential matches on a major mobile dating app, and what they found was consistent.
across almost every attribute they measured: height, education, personality, relationship goals. The more similar two people were, the more likely they were to find each other desirable and actually meet. Matt Ridley has this line in The Red Queen that stuck with me. He basically observed that people end up with their equals in attractiveness, not because anyone sat down and decided, my number is a 6. It's the result of everyone reaching up and getting rejected repeatedly until the market finds its equilibrium. So the market is sorting, and where you get sorted is almost entirely determined by how your profile reads. Now here's something the research reveals that I genuinely didn't expect. The newer apps don't just give you one score, they segment it into niches. You might rate well in one niche, say warm, outdoorsy, travels a lot, and completely fail as a city nightlife type, even if you actually do both. The algorithm routes you toward the audience your photos communicate, which means a lot of guys are in entirely the wrong niche and have no idea. Think about what that means. You might be a genuinely attractive, interesting person and still get routed to an audience that isn't looking for what you're showing them.
Your photos don't just represent you. They're selecting your audience. They're telling the algorithm which pool to put you in. And if those photos are sending the wrong signal or no signal at all, you're not competing, you're just invisible in the wrong bracket. Alright, so the algorithm is real, the hierarchy is real, niches are real, early performance matters a lot. What's the highest leverage thing you can actually change? The research is extremely clear. A 2006 study, still one of the most rigorous in this space, rated the profile photos of over 6,000 users using 100 independent raters, with very high agreement between them. The finding? Profile photo attractiveness was the single strongest predictor of how many people contacted you. It accounted for 30% of outcome variance for women and 18% for men. Income was way behind. Education barely registered. Men in the top 5% of photo attractiveness ratings received almost twice as many first contacts as the men in the next 5% below them. That's not top versus bottom, that's top 5 compared to the next 5. It's a cliff. And simply having a photo, any photo, gave men 60% more contacts than those without one. But here's the thing that changes how you think about this. The ratings in that study were made on actual profile photos, not studio headshots, not controlled conditions, real photos, with everything that comes with them: lighting, grooming, clothing, setting, body language, framing, which means the study wasn't measuring bone structure, it was measuring presentation. An average-looking guy with good lighting, an interesting setting, and intentional grooming consistently rates above a better-looking guy in a bad gym selfie. That's in the data. Another study clocked the average time a user spent looking at a profile before deciding: 6.7 seconds, less than 7 seconds. Almost all of the decision happens on visual cues before anyone reads a single word. So if there's one thing to walk away with from all of this, the algorithm, the hierarchy, the niche routing, the compounding visibility problem, it's that the gap between how you see yourself and how your photos read on a 3-inch screen is probably bigger than you think. And that gap is exactly where most missed matches live. Understanding what your photos are actually communicating, which niche the algorithm filed you in, who it's routing you to, that's the solvable part. That's the work worth doing. Most guys have never looked at their profile from the outside. They upload what they have, wonder why nothing happens, and assume the market is just unfair. The market is sorting. The question is what it's sorting you into.
That's exactly what Flirt does. AI analysis of what your profile is actually signaling, grounded in this research with a concrete strategy for what to change. It's free to get started. Worth checking out if any of this landed for you. Thanks for tuning in to Flirt Insights. Share this one if it was useful, genuinely, and I'll see you in the next episode.